Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, you guys know that when it comes to me, I will look for any and every excuse in the book to talk about Roman Gonzalez. He's my favorite fighter. He's the real TBE. He's everything right with the sport of boxing. And as far as I'm concerned, he's right now currently one of the top 10 pound-for-pound fighters in the sport. Again, without a doubt, you know, there's just no debate. He's definitely a top 10 pound-for-pound fighter after the Martinez fight. In my opinion, he's been top 10 pound-for-pound since he beat Calya and became champion again. But that's neither here nor there. What this video is about you can consider it a video response, and you know, I want to give a shout out to this guy. So please, people, go make sure you check out this guy's channel. He's been on YouTube for a long time. I've enjoyed his videos for a number of years. So shout out to my guy, The Boxing Truth, you know, because he's the one that inspired this video, and he made a lot of great points that I wanted to touch on myself. So he made a video on his channel titled it was titled Roman Gonzalez versus Naoya Inoue, the Holy Grail of boxing. He was saying that it's the Holy Grail of boxing. And, you know, we know when it comes to the monster Inoue and Shoutout, these guys have history. You know, that was a fight that HBO was looking at setting up back in 2016, 2017 time. You know, the fight never happened. And it's looked like for a long time that the window for that fight could be shut. Now, Shoutout did come out and say recently that he's not interested in moving up or moving down in weight. He wants to just fight at 115 and make his mark there. And look, if he wants to do that, I'm not against it. But, you know, my father once told me many years ago, he told me that money talks and bullshit walks. So I know that if the money is right for Shoutout and the monster, there's no reason that this fight can't happen. And when I was listening to his video, he was making a lot of points. And I was thinking about it, and I was agreeing with a lot of what he was saying, because the reality is this: when we talk about the career of Shoutout and the career of the monster, there really isn't a bigger fight for either of these guys. And truth be told, there really isn't a bigger matchup in the entire landscape of the lower weight classes, the sub featherweights, the weight classes like, you know, 118, 115, 112, 108. There is no bigger fight than Shoutout versus the monster. There are no two bigger names than Shoutout and the monster. When you talk about the guys that have been dominating the lower weight classes for the last, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 10 years, these are the two guys whose names come to mind, along with like guys like Donaire and people like that. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is this, right? We'll start with the monster, right? The monster, I think, has been done wrong by Top Rank. You know, he signed with Top Rank a couple years ago, and that was really supposed to be catapult his career to the next level. It hasn't done that. In fact, it's done quite the opposite. Top Rank doesn't have an opponents for him. In his last fight, he fought a guy who was 12-2, and Top Rank didn't even have his fight on terrestrial USA American television on ESPN. So they've really done they've done him no favors promoting him, and they don't really have much opponents for him. And the momentum that the monster had, because at that point in time when he beat Donaire in that fight, I was kind of like, you know, maybe the monster might be the best pound-for-pound fighter in the sport back in 2019. But he's lost so much momentum after that fight, and he's failed to capitalize on it. And I really think, look, if you're looking to get his career back on track, there's no bigger fight for him than Shoutout Gonzalez. That would hands down be the biggest win on his resume, hands down, if he beats Shoutout. So I love the fight. When we talk about Shoutout, right? He's already done it all in boxing. You know, he's done it all. Right now, in my opinion, he's playing like house money. You know, he's got his legacy cemented. He's the first ballot Hall of Famer, creme de la creme, top pound-for-pound guy. But, you know, this right here, if you're talking about legacy, you're talking about what this would do for his legacy, this would take it to that next stratosphere, fighting a guy like the monster. Because, you know, then we're talking about potentially a guy that is a 5-division world champion, and there's not a whole lot of guys that win world titles in 5 divisions. I mean, you can literally count them on one hand in the history of the sport how many guys have won a world title in 5 divisions, and that's your guys like Mayweather, your guys like Pacquiao, your guys like De La Hoya, your guys like Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard. You know, those were the only guys that have won world titles in 5 weight classes. So to join that kind of a list, and Canelo might join that later on this year if he goes to cruiserweight and beats Makabu. But if he joins that list, we're going from talking about Cholatito as not just an all-time great, but potentially one of the, in my opinion, especially if we're talking modern boxing, we're talking about Cholatito going down as one of the top 10, 15, 20 greatest fighters of all time. So it's a lot of history at stake in this fight for both fighters, and I just love the fight. And truth be told, I think the fight is as good now. There's never been a better time to make this fight than right now, because, for the monster, right, or for Cholatito, I should say, right, I would have never even looked the green light of this fight, let's say even in 2020 when he beat Calify. I wouldn't have green lighted this fight or liked this fight when he beat Quadradas all those years ago. But I really think his body's had a lot of time to settle into 115. I think he's doing a better job of living the life of a fighter in between the fights. You don't really see Cholatito blowing up as much in between fights. He's already back in the gym, preparing already for the next challenge. So I just think that this would be such a big deal because, this is a fight that got away. This is a fight that, should have happened. And I think his body is big enough and solid enough to go up to 118. And if you're looking at really making that history, really taking that legacy to the next level, I think just getting in the ring with the monster, even if you don't beat him, just getting in the ring with him would just take Cholatito to even another level, which is crazy to say because he's already at such a great level. So I love the fight. I love the idea of it. The monster is an explosive, great offensive fighter, one of the most dangerous offensive fighters in the sport. But as the brother Boxing Truth mentioned, he does have defensive lapses at times. We did see Donaire hit him, and I'm not, Cholatito's not punching like Donaire gonna punch at 118, but Cholatito's got those combinations. He's precise. It looks like Marcos Caballero has really gotten some good synergy, his new trainer, over the last 7 fights. It looks like they developed some good chemistry, some good synergy with each other. And it looks like they've not necessarily changed Cholatito, but just tweaked some things in his approach to offense. He's not necessarily, he's still throwing 1,000 punches, but he's not. He's making the punches count more. He's learning how to conserve his energy more. And if you look at his punch output in the last championship rounds of the fight, his punch output gets higher in the championship rounds, and that's down to how he's able to preserve his energy in the earlier rounds. You know what I'm saying? So I think with the way he fights, with the training program he's on, I think he is equipped to go to 118 and fight the monster. I'm a believer, and I would love to see this challenge be taken by Roman. They're both, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they're both promoted by the Honorable and Incomparable Mr. Honda of Tekken Promotions. So I would love just to see this fight, because to me, forget even the smaller weight classes. For me, in all of boxing, this is the best fight. There's no fight that's better. There's not one fight in the sport better than Cholatito versus Inoue at 118. Not Crawford Spence, not Crawford the Charlo fight they're talking about, not Fury versus Joshua, not Usyk versus Joshua, not Usyk versus Fury, not whatever fight you want to name, not Josh Taylor versus Crawford. No fight is better. Not Shakur versus Valdez. No fight in boxing is better than Cholatito versus the monster. It is the holy grail of boxing. It is the creme de la creme against the creme de la creme. It is two guys that have been on my pound for pound list for quite some time. It is two guys that have both made a lot of history on their own without each other. Cholatito being the first and only Nicaraguan fighter to win a world title in 4 weight classes, the former pound for pound king of boxing. The monster Inoue, a guy that has set all kinds of records for his country. Before Kosei Tanaka, he was the fastest fighter to win a world title from Japan, and he's been in great fights already. And the thing is, he still has so much history to write in his career. So I love this fight for what it represents for the sport. It's a fight that I think is a lot more competitive now than it would have been a couple years ago. I think Cholatito has actually raised his game in the last couple of years and taken his skills to another level in the last couple of years in his approach. And I think with the way he fights now, if there was a time where this fight could be made and where he could win, it's right now. Cholatito is on a great run of form. The monster is not as active as he once was. It's been almost, if he doesn't get a big fight by the end of this year, it'll be 3 years since he's had a big fight. I love this fight. I could go on and on for days about it, but Carlos Blandon, his manager. Carlos, if you watch this video, talk to Top Rank, talk to Tekken, Mr. Honda, and let's see if we can get this done. And talk to Cholatito about it. Let's see if we can get it done. Because if going undisputed at 115 is not the goal, then this is the fight I want to see. Because this is the fight that will take Cholatito's legacy to the next level if he can win it. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Cholatito Inoue, the Holy Grail of boxing. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here, boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia, and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God bless.